There's two reasons I don't like service valves on heating systems. A, they're very small bore inside, and B, they're not designed for heating, so they can leak out the spindle. The amount I've seen that do leak, the O-ring inside just splits with the heat and then it starts peeing out. Proper freezing again this morning. We've just got a tower rail to swap in this property. Tenants have moved out, the decorators are in, but I can't get in, there's nobody here. They said they were going to be here at 8 o'clock. It's currently 8:15 and they haven't arrived yet. I plumbed these out originally 16 years ago when I was an apprentice. And I put a new boiler in this one about 4 years ago. So yeah, once we can get in, we'll get the tower rail measured and we'll get it swapped out. I think they're white ones in here, so they said it's gone really rusty, so we'll probably just swap it for a chrome one. And yeah, if they've got one in stock, we'll get it done today. They want to get, carpets are going down, when did he say? In a couple of days. So I want to try and get it done before the carpets go down. Well, I'm waiting to get in this one, and I'm going to lose my car parking space as well when I go and get that tower rail. Oh, it's a nightmare down here. I went to look at some jobs yesterday, and all I do is write down everything I need, and when I go get that tower rail, I'll hand that into the merchants and get them to price it, and then I just put some time on my job. I know I get a lot of questions of how do you price a job and stuff like that. Well, the longer you've been doing it, sort of the more experience you get, you know how long a job's going to take, and you know sort of what materials you're going to need. So what, as I say, literally I'll list down everything. This one we need a Worcester boiler on, Worcester external oil boiler, put the fill loop, shock arrestor, CalMag inhibitor, standard flow terminal guard, fire valve, 3m95. I need an oil filter and the fittings to go with it, some 10mm elbows, and I literally just write down everything that I need for the job. And then I always add a little bit percentage on there, because you always forget a little bits like your lagging, like condense fittings and stuff like that, and generally it works out okay. And you always look at your jobs that you've done and work out, oh, I actually forgot, you know, I forgot X, Y and Z, and all the little bits add up on jobs like that. So like if you forget like a 15mm lever valve, they're about £4 or £5 now. So yeah, just write down everything that you need, hand that into the merchants, get them to price it, and then I'll just put some time on the job. So that job will be a couple of days for me, plus I'll need a hand to get the old boiler out, and then you've got a little bit of rubbish to get rid of as well, and then that's how I work my prices out. So yeah, while I'm waiting to get into jobs, that's generally what I do. Show some lights on. There's the boiler that I fitted. It is a new Worcester 4000. I think I fitted that about 3 years ago. See, they've had all the carpets and that took out. Bathroom, really, just some lights on. Service valves, who's put a service valve on that? That's not me. Not happy with that. So yeah, we'll get this measured up, but I'm not happy leaving that service valve on there. So I might just drain the heating down and put a socket on there. The problem with these is they tend to leak out the spindle after a while because they're not suitable for heating. We'll power this boiler off and we'll get it draining from this drain off tap down here. Beautiful. It is sucking in, which is what we wanted. So that's lowering the water out of this tower rail, and that drain off tap is probably at about that high in the flat, so it should drain sort of that point there. It's on a stud wall. I'll see if I've got some bulldog fixings in the van. Yeah, that one's already come loose at the top. Zero movement on the pipes. I think it's empty. Picked up some new valves. So what I do is I just slip this one across and turn that off. I don't know why that decided to breathe in. It probably just emptied a bit out one of the other ads. definitely timber in there somewhere. There is there. I think the reason that rail has been moved across is because that's hitting a stud. So you might have to do the same again there, just try and get them on a stud. I can't get fixings on the timber. I've got these ball fixings in the van, which these are really good, so they'll easily hold that tower down. Let's just get this bit sorted here. There's two reasons I don't like service valves on heating systems. A, they're very small bore inside, and B, they're not designed for heating, so they can leak out the spindle. The amount I've seen that do leak, the O-ring inside just splits with the heat and then it starts peeing out. I mean, it might have been okay, I didn't fit it, but knowing my luck, I'd walk away and next week that'd start leaking. So I've just decided to cut it out and at least then I know I've done what I can. So on these tower rails, the fewest amount of rails goes to the top, so I think it just makes it easy to hang your towel. So that's the top, and then that's the bottom. So we just need to get these brackets put in. I generally go tightish to the side. I mean, that one was back there on the old one, and that one's about there. I think they've done it to hit that stud, as I say. So I normally go one rail down, keep them as tight as possible, and then one rail down at the top again, tight as possible, and then we'll get this on the wall. You can't beat Loctite 55, I know I say it every time, but this stuff is good. When you put it on, you're supposed to like cross over the thread a little bit, but I generally just wrap about that much on. And then a little bit of jet blue. Mark the fixings. Well, the truth, how are we going to get her fixed it? That's got fixed in there, right? Timber there. Timber! We've just got to fix the top brackets on and we can get that tower rail dropped off. I'll have a word with the decorator, see if he can get behind all the whether he wants me to leave it off, because it might make it easier, but then I've got to come back, so I don't know, I don't really want to come back if I can help it. That's solid. To be fair, I generally do put timber in, but I don't know what happened there on them old ones. pass on that. That's it, we've just got to put the little screws in these and the chrome cover caps, and then I picked up some, wherever I put it, some inhibitor. We'll tip that in the radiator, tip that in the tire rail and get filled back up. That should be job done. So this bottle does up to 10 radiators because it's the concentrate stuff. I think there's only about 6 in the flat. So I'll just put a little bit too much in, don't matter. That should be alright. I did shut the drain off as well. I'll just get this pressurised back up to 1 bar, we'll check all the other routes, and then we've just got that toilet seat as well to swap. I don't know what's going on with that bath screen. They've not mentioned anything to me, so whether he's doing that himself, I'm not sure. Needs new, well, they're going to have to do something with this flooring down here because it's gone squishy. So whether they're going to want the toilet and basin taken out, I have no idea. Mine's not the reason why, I just do or die. I've been around and checked everything, everything's getting nice and hot. So they've asked to leave the heating on 15 degrees anyway, so we'll just leave it on. So we've just got this toilet seat to change. Shouldn't be too bad. Oh my god. That's censored, that's disgusting. I'll get some gloves on, I'll get this seat changed, and we'll make like a shepherd. Get the flock out of here. Right, that's got that tower rail all sorted. The next one I'm going to show you, I filmed a little while ago actually. I actually felt rubbish on the day. I was losing my voice and everything. You'll probably hear in the upcoming clips. But this was a no heat core. I think there was 3 or 4 boilers on this job. And all that was happening is as soon as the boilers came on, it was locking out on a pressure fault. So I probably should have gone and got a compressor, to be completely honest with you, but I was kind of really busy this day, and it had been like half an hour or 40 minutes back to the yard and then 40 minutes back to the job. So I just pumped this one out with my little hand pump. To be honest with you, it damn near killed me. It took me about half an hour. I think it was a 150 litre vessel. So it's pretty much the same principle as it's like a standard heating system, like a domestic one, but it's just on a larger scale. That's why it's a larger vessel. And see, the thing with these ones is they're interlocked in. So as soon as the pressure goes high, it kills the plant. And what was happening is it was locking out the plant, and then as it was cooling down, it was dropping back on. The boilers were coming back on, if I can get my words out. So yeah, that's what was happening. So the boilers would come on, ramp up, and then literally it would cut out straight away. So I drained it all down. It damn near killed me, as I say. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this one. If you've got any questions, drop a comment, and I'll try and explain it the best I can. But yeah, we'll catch you straight in this next clip. Got a high pressure alarm on this. Should have been set to 0.8 bar, but we're at 2.1. I've only just took a cupful out of that heating system, and all 3 boilers have come on now because we've got a demand. I've literally took that out of it, and it's knocked it from 2.1 to 1 bar. Expansion vessel, I'm going to check that. Expansion, because that system pressure shouldn't have been that high. And then, unless this has, so it's preset to 0.8. See, the high pressure alarm was 2.1, which is what it was on, and that was locking the boilers out. See, it's used a fair bit of water. It's run for 1.2 hours and it's used 1,372 litres. But we don't know when that's from, but it doesn't say. It's only been on a minute and we're already at 1.9 bar, 2 point. It's gonna go to high lockout again. We're either not getting any expansion. It's gonna start beeping. Yeah, pressure fault. And as soon as that goes to pressure fault, it'll lock the boilers out. There's a little pin on these you have to pull or press in, so you can valve that. You can valve that off and we can open that little drain off tap. And then we can check the pressure in this expansion vessel. It's probably flat, it's 0. We've got some pumping to do now, boy. I need one of them electric pumps really. So let's repump this and empty into that bucket. But this is, I don't know how big that vessel, 150 litres. So I've got 150 litres to pump out, so I might get a hose. See what this is an expansion vessel. This should be full of air, so as the system heats up, that takes the expansion. Because this is full of water, water doesn't expand, so that's why I think it's going out on the pressure fault. It may be a secondary issue on this yet. Right, so that's finally stopped running. So I've pressurised this up to 0.8 of a bar, so that should be set. So the last thing we need to check is that I put a bit of LDF on that, make sure that's not leaking. We should be good to fill this back on. We'll switch that one back on. Switch that one back on there. And we'll see what the microfill does. So this should bring it up to 0.8 bar. Should hear this fill. 0.5. So that's hovering at 0.8, 0.9, which is where it should be. We've just fired these boilers back up before it rocketed straight onto high pressure. So hopefully now we've got some expansion, it shouldn't do that. So we've set that to 0.8 bar. This is set to 0.8 bar. Boilers went on expansion. So that one's ramping up 93%. Obviously the building's cold. All 3 burners are on. So all 3 boilers are firing because the building's in demand. So with a bit of luck, this shouldn't trip out this time. This will go up, but before it shot straight up to 2 bar and it tripped out on the high pressure. So anywhere between 0.8 and 0.9 is fine. So as it expands, it will creep up a little bit, but before it went shoom, straight through the roof. As always, thank you so much for watching the episode. This one's probably been a little bit shorter than normal. I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things, to be honest with you. January is a horrible month, isn't it? It's dark, it's cold, it's wet, it's been freezing actually. Just depressing, in it. I think it's completely normal to feel like that. When the sun comes out, everything just feels so much better, doesn't it? As I say, I filmed that one a couple of months ago now, probably 2.5 months ago. I've not been back, so I guess that expansion vessel's been fine. It would have made my life a lot easier to go and get a compressor, but as I say, you just do what you have to do sometimes, don't you? Get the job done. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.